How much abuse is there in the Hasidic community? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Are you referring to domestic violence? Are you referring to sexual abuse? I don't know. But what I will say is that it would be extremely hard to report on these numbers for various reasons. Number one, people do not report. Okay? Going to court, going to the police to report any abuse is completely looked down upon in the community and comes with severe repercussions. In my case, I was staying by a family member, but because I went to family court, I was no longer allowed to stay there, and I was basically on the street with my kids. Gratefully, a friend took me in for a couple of days until I was able to find my own apartment. It's impossible. Just recently, a group of rabbis stated clearly that you are not allowed to go to police if you suspect that your child has been sexually abused. You first need to ask rabbis. Again and again, you see rabbis supporting abusers and not recognizing the family who speaks up against abuse. So it's absolutely impossible to know the exact numbers. My assessment is it's probably similar to what goes on in the general population. The problem is that because people are afraid to speak up because of the repercussions, they don't speak up. And so you have perpetrators such as sexual abusers who continue to stay in the community, have access to children, and abuse children for decades. And there has been many stories of that happening. Recently in New York State, they gave a year where you were able to have a look back period and ignore the statute of limitations and bring old cases. And that would have been life changing for so many individuals. But so many rabbis and even organizations that provide mental health services in the community discouraged people from coming forward. There were a few brave people that came forward, so thank goodness their cases are moving forward. So the shame in the community is that you're not allowed to speak up about it, is that people don't call the police, is that people don't report abuse. Abuse happens in every community. That exists everywhere. But the shame in the Hasidic community and in other fundamentalist communities is that they don't use the proper methods to stop this from happening. They don't allow people to go to the police. They don't allow people to go to court. Instead, they handle it on their own, which we all know what that means. The continued perpetuation of abuse, whether it is towards women, whether it is towards children. Hi, I'm Beatrice. I grew up in the Hasidic community. I left in my 40s. I have 10 children, and I speak about my experiences of growing up and living in the community.